94.9 and 104.5 The Rock. This is Shaggy in studio, man. I have Mike Gaube. So Mike,
actually Gaube.
Mike
See, you
Gaube.
screwed
I'm
it up
sorry,
already.
man. See, I know
Everybody
that's the
does.
thing. Mike is from Tucson, Arizona, and he came up for the Rockfest, man, and he's super disappointed it didn't happen. But in studio, not only do we have Mike, we have the great George Lynch, of course, from Lynch Mob and Dokken. How you doing, man?
Hey. I wish I was there.
Do you know what? We wish you were here, too. So, I mean, this is just the craziest thing I could ever think of happening to the Rockfest. What are your feelings right now? I mean,
it is part of the business. It does happen, not often, but you really don't have control over those sorts of things. I don't know the underlying business of this particular event, but in my experience over the years, and Michael will attest to this as well, there are established promoters, and when you work with them, pretty much 100% confident that everything's going to go off as planned. And then you have some, one-off outside wildcat promoters, and it's probably most of them have great intentions, but it's a tricky business. And sometimes those go bust. And there was one other event like this that we lost earlier this year that we were involved in as well. But, it's really hard to place any blame.
Of course,
there's a lot of people involved, investors, I'm sure, and, you could have disagreements. There's a lot of different entanglements and points where things can fall apart, and not necessarily just due to lack of interest on the public's behalf, but just financial interests that, we'll never really know about.
Yeah.
So, maybe everybody will sue everybody else, and, the people that really lose are fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge bummer. I was just telling Mike a few minutes ago. Basically, the promoter came into the studio yesterday because we told him, listen, man, you owe it to the listeners, you owe it to the bands to come in here on air and tell us what's going on. And in a nutshell, what he said was the investors pulled out last minute and had no way to pay the bands, and so they canceled it.
Not his fault.
Yeah, so...
I'd be on a plane today. So it came as a shock for all of us. Because, there's that trickle-down effect. There's the rest of my band and their families and that they support. And then, our crew and other people, in our universe, our agents, our travel agents, people that work with us that depend on us and other bands to make a living. And then, of course, all the other bands involved, and then all the other vendors and, production people and so forth and so on. So it's, a huge trickle-down effect when something like this happens. There's a lot of pain, but, there's nothing much we can do about it. We just have to pick up the pieces and keep moving forward and stay busy.
Get on that plane. We'll make Lynch Mob happen here in Idaho Falls. How about that?
Seriously.
I'll just set with my guitar and my 1 amp by myself in the field.
Hey, that's cool. We'll take it, man. We'll take what we can get.
There'll be Mike and Shaggy and 7 other people that are going to come.
Someone actually called me yesterday, and they're like, you should still bring all the bands out and just call it Shagfest.
Oh, wow. Well, that could have a lot of meaning, huh?
It could, and you know what? We'll take it, whatever we can get at this point.
Right, and Shaggy, your checks are good, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
He pays cash.
Yeah.
And Scooby snacks. Lots of Scooby snacks,
no,
George.
I'll take you out to dinner. We're good.
Right, well, that'll be a big-ass dinner, believe me.
How's Red Lobster sound for you? I go
plate,
big.
Plate full of $100 bills.
Exactly, man. And just on behalf of the radio station and, everyone who really didn't have to do with the cancellation, I just want to apologize to you guys and all the bands. I mean, everyone here in Eastern Idaho was so psyched about having you out. No one is more disappointed than us at this point.
Well, I was just talking to my youngest daughter who's in college in Boise. She's at Boise State, and she was bummed because I think, how far is Boise from Idaho Falls? A couple hours? 3?
It's about 5 hours.
Yeah. Her and her friends were all going to come down, so she was bummed and missed me and was looking forward to it. But, that's probably my second biggest disappointment is not getting to see her. But, and I know there's other bands that I talked to in the last couple of days that are, had other shows built around it.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the bands are playing like Salt Lake City and Spokane, I think, on like today and Sunday or whatever. So people could possibly go check out some of those groups and not be too far away. I think Salt Lake City's 4 hours?
Yeah, about 3. Yeah, 3.5, 4.
So there's still music going around, music going on in the proximity.
Exactly.
Some of these bands, I'm not sure what particular shows or anything, but I know I did talk to a couple of guys from Vince Neil's band. They're playing in Salt Lake today, I think.
I was talking to Jerry Dixon from Warrant, and he told me that they basically went out of their way to do this show. They were playing, I think, Ohio Saturday night. And so they were somewhere in the east and then flew over here, found a flight, and then got a flight back to Ohio on Saturday. So they totally rearranged their schedule to be here. And it's just such a bummer, man. It really is.
Flights are expensive. I mean, we're all going to be eating those.
Yeah.
Among other things. But that is, again, like I said, the nature of the business. You take that risk. There's downsides to every business, and this is one of them.
That's for sure.
Fortunately, George, it worked out. It worked out for me to come up here because I've got family up here, so I decided to come up and make a vacation out of it. But I was so bummed to not see you and all these other bands that I'm friends with in the town where I grew up and started listening to metal and stuff. So I just thought it would be so cool to hang out with y'all. And I found out that I was going to be on the same flight as Mick from Salt Lake to IF. So how cool would that be? So it is a major bummer all around.
It is a major bummer because now you're going to have to actually spend more time with your family.
Oh, we're going to go to Jackson. We're going to do some sightseeing. Yeah, it's all good, man.
Jackson Hole?
Oh, yeah. We're going to drive over there tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful this time of year.
Toilet paper did change house for me.
See, one place you need to go is the $1 Million Cowboy Bar over in Jackson.
I'm like a thousandaire. I'm not a millionaire, so.
And
I'm not really a cowboy, so how does this work?
See, I've never personally been there. I just had a friend who says, yeah, man, if you go to Jackson, go to the $1 Million Cowboy Bar.
Have you ever been there, George?
I have been there, and it really did not appeal to me. It just looked like a bunch of billionaire fake cowboys.
Rolex riders on horses instead of motorcycles.
Yeah, no thanks. I mean, you want to be a cowboy, then, go sleep in a tent and whatever, ride a horse.
Broke back?
And have a job, and have an actual job.
Or be John Bon Jovi. Yeah.
Well, it's a steel horse he rides.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So. He's wanted dead or alive also.
That's right.
That's something.
The rich people manage to get all the really beautiful places. I'll give them that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They appropriate all those places for themselves. But it was up to me. I'd boot them out of there and, make that a place for just average people to be able to enjoy and own and live in. Mm-hmm. Rather than, the elite, but whatever. That's just me. Hopefully I'll be the emperor of the universe pretty soon, and I'll be like the opposite of Donald Trump.
I don't doubt it at all, man. So one question I do want to ask you is, does an event like this kind of turn you off from the Idaho Falls crowd, or do you understand that, it's not the city and it's not, the station and the people who really want you out here? Are you guys willing to come back, I guess is my question.
Oh, no, of course it has nothing to do with that. We get it. Like I said earlier, I mean, we know how business works. This is a handful of people, and it's about money. And it has nothing to do with the location. It could be anywhere in the world. Sometimes it's weather. We had a cancellation on a really big show. This was probably 6-7 years ago. It was up in Colorado in August. It was up at a ski place, so it was way up in the mountains. But August, you think it'd be fine. Well, it got snowed out.
Oh, man.
In August. And they had huge bands. There was Aerosmith. I can't remember who else. Boston, Ted Nugent. Like a lot of big legacy bands.
Wow, not a bad lineup.
Big 2-3 day event. Everybody was there, and they had to shut it down the day of the gig. So we were already there. So, it happens. It could be worse. I mean, we all could have to have real jobs.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
Right, well, we have to get up in the morning and go do actual work. So I'm not complaining.
And I do have to say one thing I'm super disappointed about. I went to the record store and I bought Under Lock and Key, the Dokken record, and I was hoping you could autograph it for me, but now I don't get that chance.
I'll take that with me.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we do. Actually, all the bands got together and we put our heads together and we go, how are we going to sell more records? Let's put on fake concerts and cancel last minute, but everybody will buy our records so in anticipation of us signing them when we get there. You busted me. You revealed my evil plan.
Some people yesterday on Facebook, people were going nuts and have all these conspiracy theories, and they're like, Rat on their Facebook page, they went and posted this message that said, basically, no one told us about this. Rat actually came to Idaho Falls. They flew out here, and no one told them about it. And so that's a bummer, but they posted on their Facebook page that this got canceled. No one told us about it. We're super pissed off. So all these conspiracy theories come out because they went and changed their original post from back in August that announced the Rockfest. And everyone is like, oh, Rat knew about the cancellation a month ago. What is going on here? Oh, man. And people are going off on conspiracy theories. I'm like, I don't think Rat is in on this.
Yeah, I think actually Rat is the actual promoter.
Yes.
And that's to cover that up. They showed up and feigned like they were pissed. because they're the ones behind it. Yeah.
Stephen Piercy just wanted to promote his solo album. That's it. That's the conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't understand his motivation. I would quite unravel that. I'm sure Alex Jones will figure it out for us.
It's the Russians, too.
Yeah.
You know.
Alex Jones here. It's Rat.
Yeah.
Canceling the Rockfest. Turning the frogs gay.
Yeah, I think Dokken was supposed to play as well, right?
Yeah, they were. They were supposed to play tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, did you guys have any Dokken songs that you were going to play under the Lynch Mob name, or were you just going to do all Lynch Mob stuff?
We normally do play Lynch Mob stuff. I mean, Dokken stuff, I'm sorry.
Well, good.
So I don't know that we would change the setup. The only way we would do that, I think, is if we were actually, playing a bill in support of them. Then, of course, that would be a little weird for us to play Dokken stuff. Unless we talked about it, we got together and said, hey, we should do some Dokken songs. What are you guys playing? We'll avoid those songs and we'll do some other ones.
Okay, good. So you and Don are still cool?
We're doing a show with them next month, or the first week of September in, I think it's Minneapolis, the Scrap Metal Festival.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That's going to be awesome. There's been rumors that you're going to get on stage and reunite and play a couple Dokken songs. Is that true?
Yeah, Jeff isn't going to be there. Just me and Nick and Don.
Hey, still, that's 3/4, man.
But see, that's the night before. So we'll be playing Friday. I'll be playing with Dokken Friday, and then play with Lynch Mob Saturday. So, I can do Dokken stuff during the Lynch Mob set.
That could have happened here, because Dokken was tonight, and you were flying in today, right? You were supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah, I got there late.
We could have finagled something.
Late.
Just put a dagger in
my
heart.
I don't get up and play. I don't get up and play jam with Dokken for free anymore. Those days are over.
Right.
But I did that for a while, and I started to realize, wait a minute.
Let me tell you, George, I would have had a crisp $10 bill that would have said otherwise. So.
Yeah, add a few zeros. But anyway, I would have flew into Salt Lake. I was going to fly into Salt Lake, but then the connection was some puddle jumper. I've got this, it's been getting worse over the years. It's just extreme claustrophobia. I can't stay in a hotel unless I can get on the first floor. I don't get in elevators. I don't get in back seats of cars. And I can't get in small planes. The problem getting big planes. So what I was doing was I was flying into Salt Lake on a regular size commercial airliner, and then jumping in a rental car with my gear and everything and my luggage, and driving myself to Boise from Salt Lake, which, is only 3.5 hours. It's not a big deal. So I wouldn't have got there until maybe 9 or 10 at night tonight.
Well, I'm going to miss you, buddy. I'm here for you.
I avoided that pain.
So this claustrophobia thing, is this going to affect our hugs? Are they not going to be so intimate?
Yeah, because you're kind of a bigger guy, and you kind of feel kind of trapped.
They call that
what
a
do you
bear.
mean trapped? Raising Arizona reference.
Because you're always trying to hug you from behind, dude. That behind hug thing that worries me.
Behind hug.
I actually have claustrophobia in all but one part of my body, which is really weird.
I don't know if I want to know what that part is, George.
You know what part it is.
Oh.
Most of me is very afraid of dark, warm, confined spaces.
Well, I can't say I blame you. We've all had the nightmares where we're stuck in somewhere and can't get out.
For one part.
The visualization right now is just...
Well, see, I just have the visual of you two bear hugging together, so now that's in my head. Thanks.
Well, there you go. See? Mike, I'm claustrophobic. Mike and I go way back, by the way, as you can tell.
Yeah, I can tell. How long have you known Mike for?
See if he remembers. I just brought this up the last interview I did with you. Do you remember? 21 years. 21 years.
Wow.
He's one of my besties.
I'll say so.
I think it's the BBF card you sent me. 20th year anniversary. Where...
Yeah.
That was cute. I say that was very nice of him.
If me and Mike would have did the festival this weekend, we could have called it the Hug Fest.
I like it.
I like Shagfest better, but myself.
Yeah, Shagfest or Hugfest. It works as long as it's love, right?
Shag, or did you say another word?
Shag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Shagfest.
Shagfest.
Hosted by Austin Powers.
That's right, baby.
The Shagfest, baby.
Sharks with lasers. It would have been awesome.
I thought I had been F in that word. I was saying, what? Oh, yeah, I got to sell no tickets.
Or would it? You'd be surprised. You really would.
What are you trying to say? This is getting weird?
No. We're just getting started, but if you have time, we'll keep going.
This is foreplay, George. Hey, you know what? You should pimp some of your stuff since you do so much. You got this guy, radio guy here, KXM, Ultraphonics, The Secret Project.
Which one?
Well, Robert Mason, Jeff Pilson, Wild Nick Brown, and George Lynch. How about that one? That's what I really want to hear. Oh, yeah. Tell them about it, George.
Yeah, what is The Secret Project?
Called The End, END. Coming out February.
What kind of music are you going for? Are you going for a little heavier vibe, more psychedelic, or?
We went for the psychedelic, progressive Rastafarian gospel vibe this time.
Of course, the standard.
No, it's rock, but it's like, it's I've been doing a lot of records where they're just sort of seat of the pants, which is nothing wrong with that, like KXM and Ultraphonics are just written real quick. We just get in a room and we bang it out and we just go with our first instincts and we don't really labor over it. And the End record is really the opposite of that. Jeff and I spent a lot of time crafting the songs, as we did, in the Dokken days. But and I think there's quite a bit of kind of 70s art rock going on in some of these songs, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's got the usual groove, heavy rock thing, melodic rock thing. It's got all that, but it's also got that 70s. I was trying to think of a band like ELO or something.
Oh, nice.
John, just really kind of interesting, intelligent, classic changes, and it's a very satisfying record to listen to. Yeah, it's pretty deep, and I think people will really dig it. I mean, anybody, it doesn't sound like Dokken, doesn't sound like LP, doesn't sound like Lynch Mob, but it has elements of all that, obviously.
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's called The End.
Yeah. And the name of the record is The Beginning.
The end is the beginning. The
beginning of the end.
Right.
No, it's not called The Beginning. I don't know what it's called, actually.
It's funny you brought up LP. I was going to ask you about that because that was your last collaboration. Well, no, you did TNN, but the Wicked Underground record was really freaking good with you and Pilsen.
Right?
I mean, really good.
I think it's a natural evolution of the LP record that closely resembles, in my mind. Yeah, I mean, it's me and Jeff sitting in his studio working it out, so it's what you're going to get is really that, and with Robert Mason on top of it. So, God, that guy is just what a monster.
Yeah, seriously.
Robert's been doing Lynch Mob shows this year with us, not all of them, but forgotten how powerful he is. Unbelievable singing.
Yeah, because he's the singer for Warrant now, Robert Mason. So he was going to be here on Friday.
Yeah, right.
Today, I guess. Today's Friday.
Yeah. Well, you should have him come into the radio station.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Have Rat come in. They're there. Sit down and do something while they're there.
Who ended up out here that didn't know? We'll start making phone calls and we'll get everybody here.
We'll make Shagfest happen.
I'm telling you, man, they should have somehow salvaged this.
It'll be a virtual festival.
All right. We're going to Skype.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for explaining this to people. Hopefully we'll find our way up there eventually.
Oh, of course. Yeah, man. I mean, we'll be happy to have you anytime. I've been telling the fans we're going to try and make this right and, get you guys out here again. I know all the bands are urging to get out here, but it just didn't happen this time, unfortunately.
George, when's the last time you played up here? Was it that Rock the Falls about 2 or 3 years ago? Was that the last time?
Where I threw my guitar out into the audience and forgot it wasn't 1988, and I have a check that would go retrieve it. So I lost a $4,500 guitar and I walk out the parking lot. Yeah.
Somebody got a really nice souvenir. Well, it's now my mission to get you up here in Idaho Falls, George, all right? Lynch Mob is coming to Idaho Falls. I'm going to make it happen. Me and Shaggy are going to make it happen.
That's the thing, man. If you get him up here, you can come and MC this.
I'm a big fan of doing the little loops, a long weekend. So, I've been trying to encourage or work with my agent to make that happen for this show, which it didn't. But, what I'd love to do is the drivable loop. So Salt Lake, Idaho Falls, Boise, and Spokane.
That'd be good.
I think you could do those four all in 1 week.
Oh, easy. Yeah, and when you're up by Spokane, go to Lake Coeur d'Alene.
I know, yeah, I was born in Spokane.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I was born in Portland, Oregon, so just a little south.
Right.
Us Northwesterns got to stick together,
Probably went to different schools together.
That'd be a safe bet.
Because I got held back like 15 years, so we might have.
George has a birthday coming up in September.
What day in September?
28th.
Oh, okay. Mine's the 17th.
He's going to be 72 years old, believe it or not.
Are you really?
I look good for my age.
He does,
you
doesn't
do.
he? Man.
I mean, I don't think Ozzy's even 72, and he's not looking like you are.
It's hugs, not drugs, man. Keeps him young.
Right.
Hugs, not drugs.
I keep getting that turned around.
I think that should be the next Lynch Mob album. Hugs, not drugs.
Well, no. Well, his next album is Remember George, going to be, and I'm going to drop an F-bomb here, so just go ahead and beep it. It's just shut the fuck up and play your guitar. Remember that, George?
Yeah, somebody already did that.
No, it was shut up and play your guitar. Yours is shut the fuck up and play your guitar. You're taking it to the next level, George.
And just a little extra verbiage in there goes a long way.
It's that F-bomb that does it, man. I'm telling you. It's emphasizing.
I wanted to call the End record or 3 Chords in the Truth, but I think that's been used.
3 Chords.
but I thought that was a real cool title.
AC/DC, huh?
Yeah, I mean, sort of. There's more than 3 chords on the record, so it would really be false advertising.
Yeah, can't have that, dude.
And I think Robert lies a couple times in the lyrics. That would be false advertising as well.
Yeah, I think it'd have to be a punk rock album to be 3 chords and the truth.
It would be 17 chords and mostly the truth.
Okay, a bit of lies.
17 chords and a couple of lies.
I like it. Look forward to it.
I'm just riffing.
And lots
this is
of
how
licks.
we come up with ideas. Is we riff on stuff like this. You guys gotta chime in and help me out here.
All right, you got it. I got ideas for days, man.
There's not much to do in Idaho Falls, so he sits and thinks a lot, George.
Yeah, if you could come up with any.
Uh-oh, where'd you go?
Hey, George, you there?
He's probably going through a dead spot. I think he's in his car.
Oh, is he? Here we go. 3 chords and the truth. I like it. Could call it the concert that never was. Lynch Mob, live in Idaho Falls.
Well, we're not disconnected. He's probably talking on the other end. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I think he just maybe hit a dead zone.
I reviewed this for the school paper, Skyline.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was the feature editor,
What'd you give it?
Doing Mike's Metal Shop. If I remember, what was I doing? Was I doing 4 out of 5 or 5 stars? I think I gave it a 5.
Yeah, it's a good album.
My favorite.
And what's the big hit on there in my dreams?
It's not Snot Love. Snot Love. I know this isn't going to go anywhere, but the first time I saw that was it was actually the time I met George. Is down Tucson, '97, when they just kind of reunited. I finally got to see George live. First time ever I saw Dokken live, because the first time they played with Aerosmith, I skipped it because I didn't really like Aerosmith. I didn't want to pay for a full ticket just to see Dokken opening, and then they broke up, so I was pissed. Man. So anyway, I got to see him, and I met him, but I was in the sound booth, and I looked over at the set list, and the last song said, Snot Love. I'm like, oh, it's Snot Love.
It's Snot Love.
Snot Love. I thought that was the funniest damn thing. So that's stuck in my brain forever. Yeah. Well, I think we lost him.
Hey, George? Well, it looks like we lost George there, but Mike, thank you so much for coming in, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, coming all the way from Tucson, Arizona. Tell people if they're down in that area where they can catch you.
Oh, down in Tucson? Well, 96.1 KLPX, of course. You can catch that on the World Wide Web, and then my Mike Gaube's Headbangers. That's my official brand and everything.
See, you're wearing the shirt right now.
I am.
It's a cool
I
shirt,
got
man.
one for you, buddy.
I will take it, and I will wear it with
Dana
pride.
Wade, who set this all up, man.
Yes.
He's got one coming, too. So, yeah, Mike Gaube's Headbangers. Just look it up on Facebook. DesertRocksRadio.com is coming really soon. That'll be my little internet station.
And I'm just letting all my listeners know out there, I mean, Mike, this is a veteran radio guy, and he's actually from Idaho Falls and, moved on to a bigger market. But,
Skyline, 86, class of 86.
There you go. So if you guys remember Mike and you graduated in 86, then, come on down and say what's up.
Oh, my God, the crazy thing, last time I was here was 2 years ago for our 30 years. Oh, man. But the sad thing is, that we've lost people since then, so we've been pushing for a 5-year reunion each time subsequently, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But it's great to be back, and family, go see the sights and everything. I'm bummed about the Rockfest, but hey, it is what it is.
I know, for sure. At least we got a good interview out of it, so thank you to George too. I know we lost him and everything. And you know what, I just want to give a shout out to your nephew right here. Brian, thank you. He's been sitting quietly this whole time throughout this entire interview.
He took 2 pictures, though.
There we go. So he took pictures for us. So he's a designated photographer. So thanks, man.
I like how you have Donald Trump in here. Donald Trump got laid. Look at that.
He did. Yeah, we have a Donald Trump pop-up for those who don't know, and I put a lei on him, a Hawaiian one, because I thought it'd be funny. He had a rock shirt on yesterday. But...
It matches my mohawk. Look at that. I think I'm going to take it off Donald Trump.
What? You're giving me a T-shirt. You can have the lei.
Okay. I'll put the lei on for the picture.
All right, take it, man.
I'm going to get laid.
Thanks so much,
I'm going to get laid in Idaho Falls. First time ever.
There you go. This is the first time for everything, right? Hey, Mike, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Shaggy.